Open your eyes. Open your eyes. Wake up, Link.
What's up, everybody? Once again, my name is Matt, and welcome finally to Let's Play The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Man, I still can't believe I'm playing this game right now on the Nintendo Switch. It's amazing. Anyways, we've been out for a long time, so let's not waste any more time and check out this panel, shall we?
That is a Sheikah slate. Take it. It will help guide you after your long slumber.
And just like that, we got the Sheikah Slate, a mysterious tablet with a glowing center. You've never seen this device before, and yet there's something familiar about it. Well, now that we got our Sheikah Slate, let's get out of here. There's a couple of chests right off the bat, and I do kind of want to show off a funny Easter egg. So, if we approach one of these chests from behind while we're, unequipped with no clothes whatsoever, Link will kick to try to open it, but he sort of stubs his toe. Feel kind of bad about that, but at least the chest opened up, and now we got some trousers. So, let's open up this second chest to complete our ensemble and get ourselves an old shirt. Alright, now that we got those things, let's open up our inventory and put those on real quick, because obviously, we do not want to run around naked. I mean, you could, I just wouldn't recommend it.
Hold the Sheikah slate up to the pedestal. That will show you the way.
Authenticating. Sheikah Slate confirmed.
Link, you are the light. Our light. That must shine upon Hyrule once again. Now go.
Alright, well, let's get out of here then. I'm excited to go and see the world, and also figure out who exactly that mysterious voice is and what the heck she's talking about. Anyways, guys, welcome to this version of Hyrule and The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Beautiful, isn't it? So this is the Great Plateau, only a small fraction of this world. Anything you can see right now, you can go to given enough time. It's amazing. Also, it seems like we're not alone here either, but before we go and talk to that old man, let's pick up a couple of things. So, starting with this tree branch, we can use it as a weapon, but probably won't need to. Over here, we have ourselves a Hylian shroom. So, foraging and collecting things is a big part of this game. You're pretty much going to want to pick up everything that you can see. For food items, you can use those obviously in cooking to restore some of your HP, because that's mainly how you're going to be keeping yourself alive. So, keep that in mind. Anyways, now that we've got like a few things like that and sort of that explanation out of the way, let's climb this tree actually and grab these apples, because apples are prevalent all over Hyrule and they're pretty useful for cooking. But now that we got those, let's go and talk to this old man. Or rather, let's steal from him. So, give me that baked apple, buddy. So yeah, that's what happens when you cook an apple. I beg your pardon. I do believe that is my baked apple. You can't just go about taking whatever you please. Oh, forgive me. I could not resist pulling your leg. Please help yourself. An apple and an open flame make for a succulent treat. It is a bit strange to see another soul in these parts. Who are you? Me? I'll spare you my life story. I'm just an old fool who has lived here alone for quite some time now. What brings a bright-eyed young man like you to a place like this? I don't even know where we are, dude. Answering a question with a question. That is fair enough. As I cannot imagine our meeting to be a simple coincidence, I shall tell you. This is the Great Plateau. According to legend, this is the birthplace of the entire kingdom of Hyrule. That temple there. Long ago it was the site of many sacred ceremonies. Ever since the decline of the kingdom 100 years ago, it has sat abandoned in a state of decay. Yet another forgotten entity, a mere ghost of its former self. Ah yes, that building. Long-time Zelda fans know exactly what that is, and it is kind of sad to see it that way. Anyways, over here we got ourselves a woodcutter's axe. This is a far better weapon than those tree branches, so let's use that from now on. Anyways, before we do really anything else here, we should probably go and check out that building. But, real quick, let's dive off this cliff into the water because... check it out. You found me! Huh? You're not Hestu. But you can see me. I didn't know your kind could see the children of the forest. Well, if you run into Hestu, please return this to him. Alright, and he gives us a Korok seed. I believe there are 100 of these in the game. Oh, my friends are hiding in lots of different places too. Don't be shy about poking your nose into suspicious places. Okay, good advice too. There are secrets all over the place in this game, so you're gonna wanna look everywhere. As I was saying though, those are Koroks, and every time you see one, you will get a Korok seed. I believe there are 100 of them in the game. I will be getting all of them, and they are pretty dang useful, so I recommend keeping a keen eye out for Koroks. Anyways, here we are at, yes, the Temple of Time. And if it seems like I know a lot about this game, it's kind of because I do. In fact, I've already beaten it. If you don't believe me, here's a photo of me with the ending credits. Now that that's out of the way, if we check out these weird machines, we can search around them and find ourselves some items like ancient screws or other ancient materials. Those are very important.
Link. Head for the point marked on the map in your Sheikah slate.
Alright, well there's that mysterious voice again, and yep, there is indeed a mark on our map in the Sheikah Slate. This is what I like about Breath of the Wild. Even though it is an open world game, it gives you enough of an idea of where you should go next, and it also keeps track of like all of your objectives and side quests in an adventure log inside the Sheikah Slate. So even if you stop playing for an extended period of time, you can always come back to it, pick it up, and pretty much know exactly where you left off. Alright, so here's our first enemy. Combat in this game is a little bit different. It's also a lot more dangerous to fight enemies, which is why I stole this guy's weapon when he dropped it. Now, he still can't attack me by, like, punching and kicking, but he's way less threatening. Also, enemies do drop various things like horns, claws, stuff like that. Not a bad idea to pick them up because you can sell them or use them in, you know, cooking and stuff like that. Alright, so inside the Temple of Time, there is one thing that I would like to point out, and it's this goddess statue. We really can't do a whole lot with it right now, but it's here, and we will be coming back to it later on. Now, on top of the Temple of Time, there's actually a secret, and thankfully, there is this conveniently placed ladder here. Now, believe it or not, you can actually climb up the Temple of Time over to the right, and that's what I did on my first playthrough, until I found this ladder, which makes it a lot easier because not only is climbing the ladder faster and more convenient, it actually doesn't use stamina at all. And yeah, that green meter, that's your stamina meter. We don't have a whole lot of it to spare right now, so climbing, running, stuff like that will all use stamina. Be very careful about running out. Anyways, right up here we got ourselves a hidden chest, so let's open this up, and we're going to get ourselves a soldier's bow, a really strong bow this early in the game. So automatically that's equipped, and now we can use it, but we actually don't have any arrows whatsoever. So I guess we'll just carry it around with us for now. So now that we got that, we're pretty much done with everything that I would like to do here at the Temple of Time. There is fall damage in this game, by the way, so be very, very careful. A fall from this high probably won't do too much. Actually, it does. Never mind, a whole heart and a half. That was half of our HP. But I guess that gives me a chance to show this part off. And that is our materials menu. So in here is everything we've collected. We got some apples, some mushrooms, and some screws and stuff like that. Also, one menu over is our cooked food. So if we eat that baked apple we got, we can restore half and a quarter of a heart. So 3/4 of a full heart. I don't know why I said it so oddly. Anyways, before we completely leave the grounds of the Temple of Time, there is one thing that I want to show off, and the reason I'm showing this off might seem kind of random, but this was the very first thing that I got stuck on in the game. So, if I got stuck on it, I know there's probably someone else out there who will get stuck on this too. I'm going to pick up a very specific ingredient. We won't need this until a little bit later on, but we're in the area, so might as well get it now. Over here, we can find some peppers growing on this little tree. This is a spicy pepper. Very important for cooking, and it is required to get off the Great Plateau. The game actually gives you some, but if you're dumb like me, you will go through them and exhaust them and spend like an hour or so on the Great Plateau just looking for more spicy peppers. So there they are. Anyways, now that we got that, I think it's about time we go towards that mark on our map. What do you say, guys? I know it seems like we wasted a lot of time picking up supplies, but trust me, that was not a bad move. I'll say this now, this is the hardest Zelda game they have ever created. I can't tell you how many times I died on my first playthrough. Now, I mean, towards the end I was dying less and less, but there are still threats, even at the end of the game, that can take you out in just one hit, so you really need to be careful and pick and choose your fights. While we're making our way towards that mark on our map, I believe there are a couple of stops that we can make along the way to potentially pick up some more gear, even though right now I'm pretty happy with where we are. We don't have a shield yet, but we'll get one in due time, don't you worry. Let's just take this guy out real quick before he has a chance to attack us. And there's another chest right over here, which contains some more trousers. That's actually odd, because I believe that contains something else on, my other playthrough of this game. Oh well, maybe the chests are randomized to some degree, but I'm not entirely certain about that. Alright, ooh, down here. So, yes, if you've seen any trailers for Breath of the Wild, you know exactly what's coming up. In fact, if you've played any of the demos for the game as well, because I know this was in the E3 demo, and if you were lucky enough to go to one of like these Switch preview tours like I was, this was also in there as well. So you probably know what I'm about to do, but one of the main draws of this game is its realistic physics engine. So if we push this boulder, for instance, we can roll down that hill, hit those explosive barrels, and kill those bokoblins who are just minding their business, trying to cook some food by the campfire. Now that they're gone, though, I doubt they'll really be needing, like, any of their supplies, so I'll go ahead and grab their Boko Club, and you know what? I'll take this steak as well, just because that could be helpful later on. You might be wondering why I'm collecting so many different types of weapons, especially Boko Clubs, because I think I picked up one of those already, and that's because weapons in this game break, including your bow, any swords, axes, clubs, and even shields. So pretty much you'll be constantly picking things up and replacing other items as they wear down and break. You won't really be hanging on to any one particular weapon for a very long time. And that's sort of why a lot of the chests in this game, if you can't get them, I really wouldn't sweat it, because chances are it contains like an item that really isn't necessary for you to complete the game. Anyways, we made it to that mark on our map, and hey, check it out, there's another one of those panels here, so let's do our thing. Place the Sheikah Slate into the pedestal. Sheikah Tower activated. Please watch for falling rocks. Well, seems like a lot of these things just appeared all over the world. Interesting. So this is the Great Plateau Tower. Distilling local information. And check it out! There's the entire map of this region. Only a small portion of the entire world map, mind you. So, it's nice that we have it, but we're nowhere close to understanding everything.
Try to remember. You have been asleep for the past 100 years. The beast. When the beast regains its true power, this world will face its end. Now then, you must hurry, Link. Before it's too late.
Well, that does not look good, and hey, at least we finished our first major quest. And also, it seems like that voice is coming from inside that castle. I don't really like the sound of that, guys. I really don't. Anyways, let's carefully climb down the Sheikah Tower. A fall from this high will definitely kill you this early in the game, so Yeah, just take it slow. Thankfully, they place like all these platforms here for you to rest on, so you can easily make it down just by like hopping from each one to the next. My, it would seem we have quite the enigma here. This tower and others just like it have erupted across the land, one after another. It is almost as though a long dormant power has awoken quite suddenly. If you do not mind me asking, did anything odd occur while you were atop that tower? I heard a voice. Well now, a voice you say? And did you happen to recognize this mysterious voice? Can't say that I have, actually. I see. Well, that is unfortunate. I assume you caught sight of that atrocity shrouding the castle. That is Calamity Ganon. 100 years ago, that vile entity brought the kingdom of Hyrule to ruin. It appeared suddenly and destroyed everything in its path. So many innocent lives were lost in its wake. For a century, the very symbol of our kingdom, Hyrule Castle, has managed to contain that evil, but just barely. There it festers, building its strength for the moment it will unleash its blight upon the land once again. It would appear that moment is fast approaching. I must ask you, courageous one, do you intend to make your way to the castle? I think I do. I had a feeling you would say that. Here on this isolated plateau, we are surrounded on all sides by steep cliffs, with no way down. If you were to try to jump off, well, no death could be more certain, or more foolish.
Oh.
Of course, if you had a paraglider like mine, that would be quite another story. What are you talking about, paraglider? Oh, piqued your interest, have I? Yes, I didn't come soaring down here on my own feathery wings, you know. Worry not, I will happily agree to give you my paraglider, but not for nothing. Let's see now. How about I trade it for a bit of treasure that slumbers nearby? Come, let me show you something. Alright, well, I mean, that sounds like a decent trade, I guess, so we have to just wait for the old man to get up here, that way he can show us something off in the distance, although we kind of already know what it is, because we're looking at it. Alright, let's talk to him again. Do you see that structure there? That one shining with a strange light? It began glowing at the exact moment those towers rose up from the ground. I would think such a place might have some sort of treasure, wouldn't you? Treasure for the paraglider. A fair exchange, I believe. Alright, sounds like a deal to me. I mean, how hard could getting that treasure actually be? Well, we're about to find out. While we're on the way there, though, I suppose I should mention this. So at this point, I already know pretty much every single plot point in this game, but I am still very cautious about spoilers, and as such, I probably won't be talking about, like, future events too much, or at least I'll try to avoid doing that as much as I can, because I want, like, maybe viewers of this series to experience this the same way a first-time player would. So, in that regard, I will be, quote-unquote, playing dumb, as it were, but I'm doing so for the overall experience of this playthrough. It should make it a little bit better. That being said, here we are at Oman Shrine. Probably mispronounced that, but all these shrines have very peculiar names. Sheikah Slate confirmed. Travel gate registered to map. Access granted. So the travel gates are very, very useful. Anytime you see like a glowing ring of blue light, chances are you can fast travel there, and that's super helpful in this game because obviously, as I've said, the game world is massive. So the thing about shrines is, even if you don't complete them, you can still activate the travel gate and teleport there anytime you'd like. And that's helpful because there may be times when you discover a shrine and you go inside and perhaps you're missing a particular item set that you need, or it's too difficult and you can't really beat it right now. So you can feel free to leave the shrine and come back when you're better equipped. To those who set foot in this shrine, I am Oman. In the name of the goddess Hylia, I offer this trial. So this is the magnesis trial. First things first, let's go and approach this panel. Sheikah Slate authenticated. Distilling rune. And just like that, we have the magnesis rune, which allows us to play with metal objects. Rune extracted. Okay, so runes probably require a little bit of explanation. The simplest way to put it is runes sort of take the place of core Zelda items. So you still have like swords, shields, bows, boomerangs, stuff like that, but there's not really temple items or items that you find inside temples like in a traditional Zelda game. Runes sort of take the place of that, and they're incredibly useful. You don't get a lot of them, but you can still do many different things with the runes that they do give you, including using them as weapons. So this is like a miniature version of those robots that we saw outside, and obviously if we use our magnesis rune, we can use that metal block to just take that guy out really easily, no combat required, and pick up some extra ancient materials. Now that we got those, let's keep going through the shrine. Most of these shrines are pretty small, honestly. There are 120 of them in the game, though, so yeah, you're gonna be going through them a lot. So having them small is not really a big deal. Keep an eye out for secrets, because a lot of shrines will have chests like hidden out of the way that require you to solve like maybe an extra puzzle or two to get to them, and usually they contain some pretty cool items. This chest has a traveler's bow, so not as good as the bow that we previously picked up on top of the Temple of Time, but still pretty nice to have this early on. Now that's out of the way though, we open up this gate. Guess what? We are pretty much at the end of the first shrine already, so let's check out this weird looking guy behind the glass. You have proven to possess the resolve of a true hero. I am Oman, the creator of this trial. I am a humble monk, blessed with the sight of the goddess Hylia, and dedicated to helping those who seek to defeat Ganon. With your arrival, my duty is now fulfilled. In the name of the goddess Hylia, allow me to bestow this gift upon you. Please accept this spirit orb. Alright, so we got ourselves our first spirit orb. These are very important. You're going to want to get as many of these as you possibly can. Trust me on that one. And you can only get them from beating shrines. May the goddess smile upon you. Well, I guess he's gone now. Alright, so that's it for the first shrine. Now, I'll explain what spirit orbs do a little bit later on, but as I said, you're gonna want to get as many as you possibly can, so I hope you guys like the shrine gameplay. I personally do. Out of all the shrines that I've been to, they've all been fun. It seems you managed to get your hands on a spirit orb. Well done. How the heck did you know that? Clairvoyance! Oh, or perhaps just something similar. As one gets older, it can become more difficult to see what is right before one's own eyes. However, that which was once hidden from view can often be crystal clear. But perhaps that is not true for everyone. Ho ho ho! The appearance of those towers and the awakening of this shrine. It is all connected to that Sheikah slate you carry on your hip. What do you mean? It has been quite some time since I have seen that Sheikah slate. Long ago, a highly advanced tribe known as the Sheikah inhabited these lands. The great power of their wisdom saved the kingdom time and time again. But their ancient technology disappeared long ago. Or so it is said. It is interesting, however, to think how something like that survived all this time, hidden away in a shrine. These shrines are tucked away in numerous places all across this land. On this plateau alone, I believe there are still 3 more. Bring me the treasure from each of those shrines, and I will give you my paraglider. Hey, wait a minute, that wasn't the deal. Oh, well, I suppose I changed my mind. I'm sure that won't be a problem for a young go-getter like you. Since I'm feeling generous, I will also teach you a trick for finding shrines. It's always best to survey the area by looking around from a high point. Let's see here. How about you make your way to the top of that tower again? Got it. I admire your eagerness, but allow me to teach you something else before you go. Take a look at the map on your Sheikah slate. See those blue icons? You should recognize the cave where you woke, the shrine you came from, and the tower. You can travel instantly to any of those places with the Sheikah slate. Or so I heard quite some time ago. I do not know if it actually works as such. Alright, well, before we go up to the top of that tower, now that we have this magnesis rune, there's actually a couple of things that we can do in the world itself. So yeah, always stay vigilant, especially once you finish getting all your basic runes, because there's a lot of things that you can do with them. There are puzzles even in the overworld, which really makes this game shrine, in my opinion. Here's the first of one of the chests that we can find, and it contains an amber. Ambers are pretty useful for selling and getting money later on, which does play a pretty big role. And here's that second chest that we can get inside this small little lake, so let's just bring this towards us and see what's inside this one. It's an opal. Alright, another item that is pretty useful for selling. Not bad at all. Alright, now, this might seem kind of random. I'm gonna grab this, piece of metal and bring it on a little trip with me real quick, because there are 2 more chests over to my left that we can get. It's sort of surrounded by, a bog, so if you run into that, I believe you will sink down and die. So yeah, be a little bit wary of that. Thankfully, though, with our magnesis rune and this, metal thing here, we can just, make a nice little bridge for ourselves to reach these 2 chests and get ourselves some more items. Alright, let's be a little bit careful with this, though, just because I don't want to accidentally fall into that bog. Alright, perfect. And inside chest number 1, we're gonna get some fire arrows. And inside chest number 2, we're gonna get ice arrows. Just like that, we already got some arrows. So now we can actually use our bow. However, you may not want to waste your fire and ice arrows just yet. They give them to you, but, I'm gonna hang on to them for a little bit and save them for something important. Anyways, now that we've beaten the first trial, opened up all of the Sheikah Towers, and got some items, I think this is probably a good place to end off the first video. So if you guys enjoyed this part, a like rating would be greatly appreciated. If you want to see more, consider subscribing. But once again guys, my name is Matt, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.